What's up, everybody? It's your man Pots and Pans. Today's episode of Real Chef Tips isn't going to be a cooking tutorial at all, really, but it does have to do with food, and frankly, I think it's the most important video that I've made so far. May make in a very long time. Yesterday, I put a post on Instagram. It was a tweet that I shared, and it was basically a big statistic. So my tweet basically said this: 35% of Americans are diagnosed with either prediabetes or type 2 diabetes. 40% of us are considered obese, and I said 80% are insulin resistant. The truth is, it could be upwards of 88. Almost 90% of our country has some form of insulin resistance or metabolic dysfunction. Now, to be honest, I posted this as a bit of a wake-up call for people. You know, wanted to make a big statement. And I posted it because I get frustrated, because I want to help people. It's one of the biggest reasons I make these videos. It's because I feel like I don't have to preach to anyone. I can just put this out here in like a blanket statement and a little more passive knowledge. And I don't have to beat people over the head with it, because nobody wants to, being told what to do. And people are just not going to make changes until they're ready to, and I'm sure that you have observed that too. So in my head, ideally, I can get people to, follow me for a few years or a few decades or whatever it is, and then over time, they'll just do it when they're ready. However, when something like COVID comes around, I feel like, I don't have the chance. And the unfortunate thing is, a lot of people are dying before they actually have to, and it can be avoided. Now, the news is also saying that 90% of people have all these underlying conditions, right? These people are, assuming they're not, we have the smokers and the elderly. Of course, they're going to have their own issues, but like 90% of people have metabolic disease. They're obese, they're overweight, they have diabetes, atherosclerosis, whatever it is. They all have these issues. And they're also saying that even young people can get it, even healthy people can get it. And what I'm trying to say with this video is that we need to massively reconsider what the word healthy means in this country and all over the world. See, to me and to a lot of people that are a lot smarter than me, the people that I actually read their research, much of the data that we have to quantify what makes a healthy individual comes down to how insulin sensitive are we and how much chronic inflammation are we dealing with on a day-to-day basis. Being insulin sensitive is a good thing. You want that. Your body's working well. It's responding to insulin after you're eating foods. It does everything it needs to do. People that are of poor health generally have insulin resistance. And there's a lot of scientific data. There's a lot of good evidence that supports that insulin resistance and inflammation are the root cause for all diseases across the board. So, just depression, it could be SIBO and gut issues, it could be atherosclerosis, it could be coronary artery disease. All of these different issues might just be a downstream effect of insulin resistance. So back to how I feel about this, the reason I'm making this video, the reason I make all of my videos. I believe that as a species, as a population in general, all over the world, we've lost our connection. For many of us, we've lost our connection with what it means to be human. Our evolutionary needs as, sapiens on this earth, we've lost connection with the earth, with nature, and we've lost connection with our food, which is the most important thing. It is our number one life source. It's everything that we need to be metabolically healthy and robust humans, okay? And for me, the reason I do what I do is, yes, to help people. I have a little bit of knowledge on health. I have a little bit of background on this kind of stuff. But the reason I make cooking videos, I've resisted it for so long. I've been a chef for 10 years. I've started YouTube and I was doing all these other dumb videos, and I resisted making cooking videos for a long time. But eventually I came to the realization that if I make these videos and I can help people become better cooks, I can help more people become healthy. I can reconnect them with the love, the respect, and the appreciation that we have for food, or that we once had, that we should have in our daily lives. If I can teach people to be a better cook, come in their fridge, pull stuff out of the pantry, do a little like in your home style chop thing without having to follow a recipe, and you understand the ingredients and the flavors, and you also understand how to, manipulate the flavors in order to make them the most nutritious. Most people don't stick to their diet. They have an issue sticking to their diet because they're following a diet, and the food sucks and they don't know how to cook. So they think that they have to cheat and they crave those cheat meals. But most people don't realize that you can make cheat meals at home. Everything that you buy from a restaurant can be replicated at home with better ingredients, with quality techniques, and an understanding of how to elevate flavor and manipulate flavors. It all can be done at home. And if you do that, you can stick to your diet for longer. I never feel like I have to cheat because I'm an excellent cook. And I think that's just the key to getting people to live healthier. Here's the thing I need most people to understand. When you cheat, it's not just about the short term. A lot of people think about it in that this is short term and it's just like this superficial level where, oh, I'm going to eat. Maybe I don't feel so great mentally. Maybe, I'm going to be tired afterwards, or, oh, I have a little bit of a belly. Maybe I don't make the best decisions. I drink a little bit too much. I don't sleep a lot. I have this low level inflammation or insulin resistance going on. But hey, I've never been diagnosed with anything. I don't hate myself enough to actually make the change. But what's really happening is disease takes forever to manifest itself. So just because you have a little bit of a belly doesn't mean that you're actually healthy. Okay, there's a lot of top tier athletes, endurance runners can bury themselves into a hole, not necessarily eat the right things, but they overtrain and they become insulin resistant. And they can have a lot of complications from that. If you have a little bit of a belly, you are at more of a risk than the average person because you're under more inflammation. If you have a big ass belly, okay? If you're an obese person, you are at an extremely high risk. Throw out the pandemic. Just think about right now. You are at a higher risk for developing all the stuff that we talked about, the coronary artery diseases, the atherosclerosis, heart attack, whatever it might be. Then you add the pandemic in. Your body's already under inflammation, so your body is the enemy. It's thinking about that inflammation as an immune attack. And so your immune system is already suppressed. Then you get COVID that comes in, and these people absolutely get crushed, okay? And it's devastating. So one of my goals is to not just get people to think long term like that, but also think deeper and not so superficial. So don't just worry about how you look. Think about what's going on underneath you. Your food and your DNA have a language, and they're speaking to each other, okay? So every time you put inputs into your mouth, good or bad, and it becomes digested, it's interacting with your genes, and it's choosing what's going to be activated, turned on or off, expressed or not expressed. Just because you are predisposed to having an issue, a disease or something, doesn't mean that you're going to get it. And the biggest way that we can influence that is by choosing the correct inputs and lifestyle factors too. But our food is that direct language that's communicating with our genes, activating longevity genes, activating immune system genes. Our food is our number one life source. It's the most important thing for us to be metabolically fit and healthy. That is our default. Our default is supposed to be robustly healthy individuals. And over the course of decades or whatever, we don't have to get into that, our default has become being lazy, out of shape, weak, overweight, all of these different issues. That has become our default. It's not the way it's supposed to be. In a world that lacks scarcity and has an overabundance of resources and knowledge, health should be our default, but it isn't. We are weak. COVID is not our weakness. COVID is exposing the fact that our weakness is that we are weak. So my concern is that people aren't taking their health seriously. They haven't been before. They still aren't now. And maybe if you are now during this whole quarantine lockdown, will it continue? Okay? COVID looks like it's going to continue. We're not going to have a vaccine for it for a year, up to 18 months potentially from what they're saying. So when we open the doors, it's not going to go anywhere. Most of us are going to be exposed, and most of us aren't going to be prepared. So we need to be metabolically fit and healthy so that maybe we just become asymptomatic, or if we get it, we can fight it off. If you are overweight, obese, you have underlying issues right now, you are at a higher risk. And this isn't to scare you. I want this to be a wake-up call. And I'm tired of not being like truthful about it. I don't talk about this a lot unless I'm prodded, because right now we have to be so supportive for everybody and we have to be body positive, and that's great. It's nothing about the person. I respect everyone equally. Don't come after Liza, don't come after her weight. It's the worst thing you can do. Well, guess what? I'm not going to support the fact that Liza is not healthy and she's not living a good lifestyle. And frankly, I don't think it's a good example to be teaching anyone. And that's going to piss a lot of people off. Oh well. what are you gonna do? I'd rather have people know this, be prepared, and be pissed off at me than anything else. Avoiding germs and, just being like, oh, I'm not going to shake hands or whatever, we're going to continue social distancing forever. Those are band-aid issues. We need to start developing a herd immunity. We need to start getting out there, and we need robust, healthy individuals to take this thing on. We need to take our health seriously. And in order to do that, we have to reconnect. The lives that we live in the 21st century is completely unnatural. All right, the way we live, we're disconnected from nature, we're disconnected from our food. We go to the store, it's already killed, it's already butchered. We just bring it home and we eat it. All right, we're afraid to even go to farms and look at animals and talk about killing them. Vegans think we shouldn't be eating animals at all. It's ridiculous. Okay, we need to make a lot of changes. We need to get back to our roots and honor and respect our animals and respect our food, plants, whatever you're into. Thank you for watching this. Please feel free to share this. If you don't want to share this with somebody directly, like I said, if you don't want to feel like you're harping on anybody, share this across your platforms. Share it, on your page. Share it as a story, whatever it is. Send this to everybody you know. Okay, help me help other people in the process, because I think this is one of the more important things that we need as a country and as a world moving forward. So as always, thanks for watching, and be sure to leave the place better than you found it. Love and peace. Manokis. Chef out.